I had what I thought was strep throat. My roommate came home and he caught me just in the middle of the living room, just standing like this, and I just couldn't move.
The night of the first episode of the premiere of The Real Housewives of New York City, we get a phone call that Jonathan's on his way to the hospital. We look at Jonathan and he's in horrible, horrible pain, and we don't know where it's coming from.
By the time I got to the hospital, I was in excruciating pain. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I was just screaming.
I really think that the emergency room didn't take it seriously because of his age, being a male, New York City, that it could be drug-related.
They, I guess, had to take all these tests. They didn't want to give me painkillers right away.
They do all these blood tests, and a few hours later, after waiting patiently, we find out that Jonathan, in fact, had a heart attack.
For Creaky Joints, I'm Seth Ginsburg with another video today all about Still's disease. A misunderstood and fairly unknown form of juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Today we're going to go inside the hospital for special surgery and we're going to meet with experts to begin to uncover what Still's disease is all about, as well as meet a patient and their family living with this disease.
Hi, I'm Thomas Lehman. Still's disease refers to systemic onset juvenile rheumatoid arthritis or juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Systemic onset arthritis refers to the children who have fever and rash, as well as swollen joints and pain.
My name is Ed Parrish. Treatment is of paramount importance. If you don't get treatment, you will probably have irreversible damage.
The classic symptoms are high spiking fever, which falls back to normal at least once each day, and rash. In addition, the children just look very sick when they have the fever. They often complain of joint pain and not feeling well. So they'll be angry, cranky, don't want to be touched, often drawn up and harried looking.
Diagnosing Still's disease is not an easy thing to do. It can only really be diagnosed by a rheumatologist. Jonathan presented with a heart attack, and it was a ruling out game. Like with any rheumatological disease, they have to rule things out.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. Jonathan Zarin, and I have Still's disease. I was hoping that, it wasn't something that was terminal, something that I was gonna die from, something that I could get through.
Still's disease is actually completely different from all the other things referred to as juvenile idiopathic arthritis. It's a completely different disease. All the other forms are more common in girls than in boys. This disease occurs equally in girls and boys. Okay? It probably has nothing to do with the others. The classic fever and rash are not seen in the other forms of juvenile arthritis, nor are many of the complications you see in the blood work that we see so often in Still's disease.
As a parent, having to watch your child go through this and to keep your head above water and your wits, okay, is, under the best of circumstances, an overwhelming task.
If I got emotional, he wouldn't get better. I can't explain it anything other than it was a mission. I took it on as a job, as an assignment, that I had to figure out what was wrong with him and find a treatment and a cure. What scares me the most is if there was a worldwide emergency, if something happened and Jonathan couldn't get his medicine, what would happen? You tell me.
Haven't seen you in a couple months. How you been?
Been good. Everything's been fun.
What does that mean for you? What do I say to parents? I say to parents, we're in a completely different era. Okay? Whatever they may read in so many places now is so old. We're now understanding a lot about the disease that we did not know before. We're understanding how it actually may relate to some other diseases, okay, that have maybe a similar pathology, and medications that may get this under control in a much more effective and rapid way.
We tried many different things, and each thing I would have to try for a week to see if it worked. And then if it didn't, and then during that week, if it didn't work, then there would be lots of problems. So then I would have to go to another thing and try that and this and that. And finally, 3 days after I started using it, 95% of my symptoms were gone.
When you first got sick, besides the throat and besides aching all over, you had a rash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that hasn't come back.
Right.
Any other symptoms you were having back then that you're not having now?
Everything.
Okay.
A lot. I used to have really bad chest pains. I had, a lot of stiffness where I couldn't move. I remember every day getting up, going to sit in my chair to watch TV, and just going to get the TV remote, which was on the armrest, which was next to me, and picking it up. I would have to do it this slowly, pick it up, and then, number 4, I couldn't move fast enough to enter a 2-digit number into the TV remote because it would always.
We have not only made some breakthroughs, major breakthroughs for the first time in the last 1.5 to 2 years. I think in the next 2 years we're going to be seeing even greater access to medications that should probably just shut this down right in its tracks.
Children with Still's disease and their families need to have all the information they can. We want them to be able to read about it, understand the disease. The Arthritis Foundation can help them with that. There's books for families such as my book, Parent's Guide to the Rheumatic Diseases of Childhood, which help people to understand this. And your local physician should be able to help you in assessing your child and understanding what's wrong.
If you are dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with Stills, I would just say stay positive. Make sure that you stay on top of everything you need to do. You take all of your meds, listen to your doctor, and together you will get through this.
This will get better. The horror will end.
For more information on Still's disease or any disease related to arthritis, please go to creakyjoints.org. And you can always email me at jill@jillzarin.com or visit my website at jillzarin.com.